Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to be doing the monthly love reading for the sign of Aries. We're going to look right into it, Aries, for October. Alright, I love these readings and we're going to get right into it. This is a timestamp video, Aries. You can go ahead into the top of the description and jump ahead if you'd like. We're going to pull out your romance angel messages right now. Let go of control issues. And we have very soon. All right. Let go of control issues and very soon. Interesting. So let's pull out your animal spirits for the month, all right? And see what kind of animal spirits are going to be with you this month. Animal spirits can come in like events, stages in your life, periods in your life. They can also come in as attributes of a personality or a character in your life, a person, loved one, or a friend. In this case, we're talking about love relationship, right? So this is going to be whoever you're dealing with as far as your love connection for the month, Aries. Ow. Synonymous with abundance and good luck and wisdom. And a fish. Wow. So slippery, right? Slippery relationships is what the fish represents, right? So we're going to get into this real quick before we go ahead and do your 9-card spread. The owl is synonymous worldwide over in all sort of theologies as being an omen of wealth and abundance and blessings coming in. The owl also represents that kind of wisdom that we have. When the blessings come in, we know what to do with them, right? It's air quality, of course, air element. And so the owl not only, understands what the blessings and the abundance are for or why they're getting it, they know what to do with it, right? They know what to do with the blessings that come into their lives, or that they, that we bring, that come into our lives when we're resonating with owl energy. Sorry about the background noise in the city, folks. And so it's really beautiful. For some of you, I'm going to say it could be that you do have like a really good abundance about to come in. A blessing is about to come in, right? This specifically oftentimes talks about a blessing in the form of material wealth or spiritual enlightenment, specifically, right? So it can be both or either or. Then we have fish energy. Now, fish energy is interesting. The fish loves to be independent. He's water element, of course. He just enjoys, the fish enjoys just swimming with the current of life, right? They're just free-spirited in that way. And they're willing to just drop everything and go with that current. The problem, of course, is that this energy leads to very slippery relationships, is what we say with the fish, right? Relationships that just don't stand the test of time because the fish is never around long enough. And oftentimes later on, the fish realizes that this sort of adherence to this kind of way of life has really been, they've really sacrificed for it. They've sacrificed a strong and stable relationship for the sake of sort of just living life by the seat of their pants, right? And so it could be that some of you Aries are dealing with someone who is like this. You may indeed be dealing with someone who perhaps up until now you may have wanted to sort of control in that sense, because of course Aries is a very dominant sign, right, guys? So if you're dealing with someone that you care for a lot, care for very much, you want them in your life, but maybe they're resonating with that fish energy, it can very well be for an Aries that you have to let go of control issues because it's just too much. You can't control the fish, right? But we don't really know what this all entails until we get into your spread. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to pull out your 9 cards. I'm going to keep these here on the side. And we'll go back to this and see where this falls into our reading. All right, Aries? All right, let's get ready to pull in pull out your 9 cards. All right, we have 6 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, 8 of Pentacles is the top row. All right, then we have 10 of Wands, 10 of Cups, and 2 of Cups. Wow, all right. And then finally we have the Knight of Swords coming in, 6 of Wands, and we have the 5 of Swords. Wow, okay. So at the bottom of the deck we have 4 of Cups, and that's talking, of course, about requiring stability in a relationship, right? The cup that's being offered is not necessarily offering stability. And so the figure is not willing to accept it yet. It looks very much like the cups he's been through before, and he realizes that he wants more. 4 is the number for stability. And so in this case, we're trying to either maintain stability in a relationship that has gone awry, or we're refusing to take the cup from someone who is not showing and proving, right? They're not showing and proving. They're not letting you know whether or not, you know, they're going to stick by you. We'll leave that one up there for you. All right. Now, let's get right into your reading, Aries, okay? 6 of Pentacles. Interesting. We're going to start the month off. Some of you may indeed be having a blessing coming in. You may be having money coming in, right? Certainly with Owl on the board. So your material sort of, your finances and your material this month are really increasing, okay? And they're getting better. You may be having more jobs. You may be able to have more disposable income, right? 6 is a number of harmony. So for instance, we're talking about harmony and material. So you're now able to, perhaps when you may have come from a period of being a little bit tight with bills, whereas now they're, you know, you don't have to worry so much. The bills are getting paid. You have disposable income. Interestingly enough, as a result of all of this, you have a 2 of Swords and you have also an 8 of Pentacles coming in. So you're feeling right now like you're in 2 minds about something, Aries, like you have to make a decision. Some of you may be feeling like you have to make a decision in your work area, right? Because now this work is increasing. It may be that somebody has gotten you thinking, you know, you may be starting to feel like, okay, now I have to juggle 2 things. I have this extra work, or this money is increasing. Whatever the case may be, there's 2 sides of you, whether it's your lifestyle and work, or whether it's 2 jobs, but it's 2 sides of you that's very important to you, Aries, and you feel like you really can't choose one over the other. If this is the case, then the secret of the 2 of Swords is to remember that 2s are actually more about balance and duality than choice. And really, if you have 2 things in your life that you can't live without, it's not about trying to decide which one to cut out, but it's about trying to decide how to balance things. You come later on into this period, and while you're coming through this decision period, you're really putting your nose to the grindstone with your work. You have indeed, even though your money is increasing, you're also increasing sort of your work, right? I wouldn't say your work ethic, but 8 of Pentacles, 8 is the number for boundaries and strengths and weaknesses. You're being very disciplined right now to make sure you get the work done. You're being disciplined to make sure that you're moving forward with your career, right? And so this is really important. So this month starts out, it's quite interesting. It starts out on a financial high for you with some choices and some options, and certainly with the ability, your workload is, or your opportunities for work are increasing, and your desire to be more disciplined and apply yourself to your work is also increasing. Yeah, there's still this choice there, okay? And for those of you who are resonating with this at the beginning of the month, just remember the choice is more about balance. Now we come into sort of the later period of the month, a little bit further on, and also in a progression on from your work situation here, even though this is indeed a love reading, because everything really applies to love, right? It impacts our love. But I think that what happens as an increase of this work, right? Because you become a bit more self-confident, your self-esteem increases, and you feel better about yourself because you're making more money. You're more, for those of you who are resonating with this, you're working more. And what happens is you finally come to a period where you're ready to lay down there's really like these wands, right? These 10 of wands, we're talking about tens is completion. So you're finding at a period, Aries, where you're starting to feel like you're ready to let down your guard. You're ready to be more relaxed. You're ready to let down some of these wands that you have been carrying, which are really just like self-confidence issues, perhaps baggage, holding on to old grudges that have really obstructed your way. A lot of these grudges and wands have obstructed your way to love. It has obstructed your way to really tying down a love connection. But because your work is increasing, and this is why this has come up for your reading, because your work is increasing, your confidence is increasing, and so therefore your ability to have a proper love relationship in your life is beginning to increase. This month, the center card is your main card, and so this month is really, not only is it, there's a time progression with the 9-card spread where we start the start of the month and the end of the month here, but there are also other aspects, and the center card is your main card. And so this month is really about you wanting to like really get that completion, that commitment. There may be, for some of you, you may have a relationship that you have been wanting to cement, you know, maybe moving in with someone. You know, you want to take it to that next level where you guys are indeed a family, that complete level. And so then you can begin to live your life together with this person, right? There's definitely somebody you feel a really strong soulmate connection with here. But then when we look back at the romance angel cards and messages, we talk about letting go of control issues, right? And so it's quite interesting because I don't see the other person necessarily represented at this point, right? Like their energy is not here or showing up. So I feel like it could be for some of you, you may have been at a distance from this person. You may have had a period of separation from your person, right? And now you're feeling like you want to try again, or you may be feeling like you want to come back to this connection, right? I feel like that. Now, for some of you, it could just be that the next step in this relationship has had to wait because of your financial issues. You are with your person. For some of you, this could certainly indicate, for those of you who are together with your loved one, with your other person, your soulmate even, if there has been a stalling of this commitment and next level, a lot of that was down to the monetary issues and perhaps a little lack of self-confidence in your part, Aries, because you just weren't feeling like you were providing or you were being the best you could be, right, at this time. You weren't really following your sort of path the way you wanted to. Your coin was maybe not where you thought it should be at, right, where you feel comfortable. I mean, Aries like to floss too. They like to be in control of things and not have to depend on others. You know what I mean? So that can really be a bump to your self-esteem when you're talking about being in a relationship and not being where you want to be with your career. So those are the two scenarios for some of you, and either or if you resonate with them. But certainly after this increase, in either situation, there comes a stepping up of commitment. There comes an agreement between the two of you here with this Two of Cups that you are indeed made for each other. You want to be with each other. Could be that somebody has been resonating with fish energy and they've been very slippery, and it could be also that now is the time to begin to deal with that, because now we come into the bottom row, we have Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords generally comes in to get to the heart of a scenario, to get down to the bottom of what's really going on. The Knight of Swords is extremely fair, right? And he kind of comes in with like active sort of need to have a conversation or an active intentional desire to get down to the bottom of something. There's a scenario, and then since this is of course a love reading, Aries, Knight of Swords is coming in because there's a level in your relationship, there's a need for a bit of logical communication. You know, there's logic needs to come in, rationale, you know, discussing things out in the open without your emotions getting caught up in it. Being honest with each other about what's going on as well. You know, and so the Knight of Swords comes in because I think certainly If you're wanting to have this completion here, this commitment, and you're coming together with someone and there's this love connection, Aries, if it hasn't come to this, because there's still a Four of Cups here. So it's interesting. For some of you, yeah, you may be in love with this person, but for some reason there is a blockage here from you guys really getting to this kind of togetherness, it feels like. And that's the intuitive part of the reading, is that there needs to be some kind of shift for this to actually come true. It could be a case of letting go of control issues. And again, being really logical about this situation is a case of letting go of control issues, because if you're trying to be logical with yourself and you're trying to sort of not be so, subjective and biased or passionate, this is how we can begin to let go of control issues, if that is a factor. Definitely money and abundance is coming in for some of you. And so then you have a victory this later on in the month. You have a Six of Wands coming in. It almost feels like a real breakthrough. I think for some of you, you're going to have this breakthrough. It's going to come on the heels of you letting down this, though. It really is important for some of you to finally let go some of this baggage that you've been carrying around, because these wands are really a lot to do with why, if you have had a break or a pause in your relationship or an obstacle, why it just hasn't been moving forward. This release, this Ten of Wands, is really necessary, because then you are able to finally be a bit more logical about a situation that maybe you were over passionate about. And then you have a breakthrough with the Six of Wands. You have a breakthrough in the sense that you have a bit of a victory. You come back into a positive situation with your person, right? And I think for some of you who have been away from your person, you begin to sort of realize, oh, we can come out of this. There is a way out of this, right? There's a way to move forward from this. However, be careful, because you do have a Five of Swords here. And so Five of Swords talks about when, fighting with people who fight dirty, and sometimes just having to resign to the fact that they won because they did play dirty, but it's like there's no point. Right? You're banging your head up against the wall with these people, and they really only ever care about winning. So it's not that they've got a good victory. Their victory is very hollow, but you have to say to yourself, at what point do I let this go? Because this is now just beginning to upset my life. And I don't, you know what I mean? It's like people who bring you down to their level. So be really careful with this energy coming in, because there's certainly going to be a feeling at some point later on in the month, I think, where there's going to be some bickering, and there's going to be some kind of like really unfair behavior. This could be people coming in to sort of disrupt your victory, right? So if you're coming back together with a person that up until now has been resonating with fish energy, they have been quite slippery and uncommitted. It could be that once you guys come back together, this extra force, this outside force that has already been sort of interfering, may come back and begin to play games again. For some of you, you may have been dealing with somebody who's on again, off again with an ex. Okay, and now that you're back on with your person again, this ex is coming back to sort of wreak havoc again. And so we get back to letting go of control issues and making sure that your lover, Aries, is able to show and prove what they're willing to give to you. You shouldn't have to keep putting up with this. If you are, for those who are resonating with this, if you are putting up with this sort of interference from people who are willing to sort of play dirty, you know what I mean? And how much is your lover willing to entertain that as well? All right, Aries, this is your reading for October. Okay, continue to check out the weeklies, of course, each week for your forecast for that week in love, life, and career. But this is your love reading for October. I do hope you resonated with it. We're going to go a little bit deeper in with the Thoth deck for the Patreon reading. But for right now, I'm just going to say, Aries, thank you so much for checking out this video. I know most of my views come from people who are not subscribed to my channel. But if you enjoyed this reading and you like this reading style, then please go ahead, hit that bell, and get notified of my other videos. I do upload at least 24 videos a week. All right, guys? And I do thank you all for your support. I love you, Aries. Have a wonderful October, and check me out for the mid-October love checkout. Bye-bye.